For Valentine's Day, we took a look back at some iconic ancient Egyptian couples, and one of those couples, or alleged couples, were the two men Niankhnum and Khnumhotep. They both shared, or had at separate points, the title Overseer of Palace Hairdressers in the royal court of King Niuserre. Their closeness wasn't in contention, but anytime there's a potential gay couple in history, the usual lines get trotted out. They were brothers, they were very close good buddies, one of them was secretly a woman.
And they were roommates.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
The reason their double tomb, located in the sacred burial land at Saqqara, has always attracted attention since its discovery in the 1960s is that it features this striking mural of the two men locked in an embrace with their noses touching. So let's start with that, the embrace. Remember from the same Valentine's video, the couple Meritites and Kahai. They were from the same period of Egyptian history, and the thing that made their tomb so remarkable was that Meritites had her arm around Kahai. It was a very romantic depiction for the period, when we would normally expect husbands and wives to be side by side. Even then, however, the husband and wife weren't shown kissing. Yes, kissing. Now, imagine two people kissing. Actually, this is what it looks like. Alright, you crazy kids, get a tomb. The thing about kissing is, if you're looking at it side on, one person's face will always eclipse the other's a little, and showing it that way would be strongly against the principles of Egyptian art. The best way, therefore, to show off a good smooch was to have the two noses in direct contact. It's an unmistakably intimate gesture without putting one person in front of the other. To my modern sensibilities, that seems to seal the deal, case closed, but historians are a historically conservative bunch, and modern Egypt is still a very long way from being safe for LGBT folks. So, for those reasons, there's a lot of resistance. How do we overcome that? Well look, if you're resisting the idea that they're a couple, think about why. Let me put it this way. If one of these men was in fact a woman, looking at this mural, you wouldn't hesitate to say they were a couple. It would be obvious to you. So why resist what's obvious? Putting bigotry aside for a moment, there are some things on this very mural that might make us think these two may not have been each other's one true love. These little figures here are the men's respective children. Not shown on this mural, but elsewhere in their tombs, are their wives, Khentikares and Khenut. See, they were married. Never mind their wives being absent on this mural, this is obviously what brothers look like. It's worth noting that all but one of the children depicted are actually shown as adults. Are these therefore children from previous marriages? It's made clear that both men were married to women, but life's a long and complicated business, and some folks get married more than once or find love later after a relationship ends. Divorce was an eminent possibility in ancient Egypt, and one or both of the men's wives could have predeceased them. In fact, some of the children here seem to have predeceased their fathers, as they're shown holding funerary offerings as if standing in the afterlife awaiting their father's arrival. We do always have to take tomb paintings with a grain of salt because they were designed to be flattering to the deceased. But the story presented here is not of two men who abandoned their families to run away together. They were court officials. This is a prestigious tomb whose plot will have required royal assent since it was the sacred earth of Saqqara. There's no scandal implied here. One possibility that I think is more distant given the lack of wives on this central mural is that Niankhnum and Khnumhotep were the central couple in a polycule. Could be. One piece of confounding evidence, or rather confounding lack of evidence, is that their mastaba was empty of human remains. It's not therefore entirely clear who was ever buried there. So, what can we conclude? Well, I think Niankhnum and Khnumhotep were lovers. Whether they were part of an elaborate polyamorous double marriage or simply found each other after becoming divorcees or widowers, I think would stretch the evidence to breaking point. All we know for sure is this. My god, they were tomb mates. I'm indebted to Natalie Watson of Wonderful Things Art for letting me use her absolutely magnificent reproduction of the original tomb scene. It and many other beautiful reproductions are available to be bought as prints on her Etsy store, which is linked in the description. I also think you should follow her Twitter page where she shows some of her processes in making the reproductions, and her website, where she talks about the details of several of her works, including this one. It's fascinating stuff, and I guarantee you will learn something about Egyptian art and history. Thanks, Natalie. And thank you for watching. May your Pride Month be a happy, fierce and proud time. The onlookers festooning me with honours while I live my gayest life are my backers at patreon.com/armchairegypt. I've just moved to a new place and it's unfurnished, so if you've ever thought of joining this marvellous group of fine folks, or dropping me a one-time donation on coffee, it sure would be appreciated. Links are below. Until next time, my fellow armchair Egyptologists, life, prosperity and health to you all. Thanks for watching. Head over to my channel for more, or click here to see what the YouTube demons think you should watch next. I hope you'll consider subscribing. If you'd like to support and collaborate on the channel with me, go to patreon.com/armchairegypt. You can also join my Discord community, there's an invite link in the description.